Hey guys, Nazatu here, and today I have a Sabotage gameplay for you. And if you guys don't know, this game's called MAG. Came out about 2 years ago, but there's still a few people that play it, so I thought that it might be fun to still do a commentary. So basically how it works is there's a couple different game modes. This one is called Sabotage, where it's 32 versus 32, and there is an attacking team and a defending team, and right now I'm the defending team. As you can see at the top, there are two blue letters, A and B, and what the attacking team has to do is take both A and B and hold them at the same time, and then they unlock objective C, which is kind of where I'm facing right now, in the back up those stairs, and then they have to blow up objective C. And the defender's job is to stop them. And if they take the letter A, you could take it back still. It's not like they just have to take it once and then it's theirs the rest of the game. So it can go back and forth both ways. The other game mode, or original game mode, would be acquisition, and that's involving vehicles you drive, and offense or attacking team has to capture two vehicles in a certain amount of time, and there's bunkers and airstrikes and a bunch of other stuff, anti-air and a bunch of different types of vehicles, so that game mode's pretty fun. And then there's domination, which is the big game mode. Acquisition is 64 versus 64, and then domination is 128 players versus 128 players. So that's like the big game mode. That was the big thing about MAG, was how many people it can support. And it's also PlayStation only because of that. And Sony, or the producers of this, is Zipper, and they're kind of with Sony, so that's how that works. I didn't see this guy, but anyways, so in that game mode there is everything from acquisition, except there's like bunkers and things, but you don't take vehicles. Instead, you have to complete a series of objectives. There's 4 sides, kind of aiming into this like big middle area, and how it works is each side is called a platoon, and there's 4 platoons of 32 that make up 128, and then they have different leadership, like a squad leader, platoon leader. So there's 4 squads in a platoon, 4 platoons in a company. So how it works is you have to complete a series of objectives. You have to take and blow up a burn-off tower, cooling tower, and then you unlock 2 letters similar to this, except they'll be, for the first platoon, they'll be going to A and B, and then there's a C, D, and then E, F, and then G and H. And you can go help out other platoons and stuff, but in a it's a 30-minute game, and in that time you have to the attacking team has to try to hold the letters and do as much damage as you can, and you do damage by holding letters. So it's like a combined effort. It's not like each platoon's by themselves. One platoon could theoretically win it if they held their letters for basically the whole time, but that's not very likely. So you need a good OIC who can call in different tactical moves and help you guys by slowing the enemy spawn, or jamming the enemy radar, or increasing the enemy spawn, or things like that. So that's pretty much it. They added a couple new game modes. Escalation is one. That's where, I forgot to mention this. There's 3 factions in this game. There's Raven, which is what I'm playing on right now. Kind of the futuristic thing. They're the Europeans, I guess, because it's based for like 2020 or something. This is like the European side. They have a bunch of high-tech gear. Then there's Valor, which is your classic army people. They have, I think, yeah, that's who we're playing right here, is Valor. Just US military. They're based in North America. So if you look at a body, you'll see they just have the camo, and then their guns are like, they have M4s MP5s and things like that. And then Raven that I'm playing on, we have things like the Barrett 50 cal, except it's not called the Barrett 50 cal. And we also have the P90. They just have some different names. That was a total fail right there. But and then there's Sever, which is the Middle Eastern thing. They have AKs and things like that. Right now, Sever usually wins most games, unless you're playing with friends. But as far as if you're in a random game, if you're defending, you can do a little bit, but by yourself, you can't really do a whole lot in this game unless you're facing a bunch of randoms. Groups really power through in this game just because it takes teamwork. It's not like a one-man show like other games like Call of Duty. But anyways, continuing on, what was I saying? Oh, domination. So that's like the big one, and there's also contracts for each like game mode. They have like rewards. Say whoever wins the most games. I don't know what the number is, but there's like a little meter, and there's like the first place team gets 2 contracts, the second place team gets 1 contract, and the third place team gets no contracts. And so for this game mode Sabotage, the contracts reward you XP. So each contract gives you 10% XP, but the first place team will have 2, so they get 20% XP bonus. Then the second gets 10%, and the third gets 0. And then say for domination, it's oh, I don't get what happened here. I don't know, that was weird. That was lag. He kills me again in the game with lag, but I get him a couple times too, so it was even. Anyways, so yeah, that's a big. It's not that big of a part, but sometimes in domination, because that contract reduces the time it takes to recharge your tactical strikes. If you can get bombarded by a lot of bombs really quickly, especially if they have a tactical refresh, so that can be kind of stressful sometimes. But I mean, it doesn't give that much. It doesn't really give an advantage in gun fights. In fact, it doesn't really. But each faction also has their own guns. They have kind of their own counterparts for each faction, except they have different like pluses to them, I guess. This one, Raven, this faction, has, so I'll take this gun, the ATAC 2000. It has the most accuracy and the highest fire rate of the factions for it's called a tier 2 assault rifle. There's a couple different tiers. And on Valor, and then on Sever, they have, it shoots slower, but does a lot more damage and is less accurate. And then Valor is kind of like a balance between. It's kind of medium accuracy, medium damage, medium, what am I trying to say? Accuracy. So that's kind of evens out, but sometimes, depending on the lag, some guns may, or some factions' guns may work better in a situation. So that can be kind of frustrating, but I mean, you get over it sometimes. So it doesn't really affect much unless you're playing people that are a lot better than you, or like if you're playing, especially if you're playing people worse than you shouldn't have any problem, as long as you can keep your aim on. But so yeah, that's like one thing that's different. And again, Sever kind of controls most of it and has for a while. And then Raven and Valor are kind of back and forth. Valor's kind of the worst right now. It used to be Raven, but now everything's kind of evening out a little bit. Sever isn't as powerful since some people aren't playing this game as much anymore. So that's good that it's more even, but there's still sometimes you can definitely get run over if you're on Valor or Raven. But anyways, that's the end of part 1. So check the description for the second part of this video, and I'll see you in part 2.